because I'm putting it on here.
Oh.
So I'm surprising my friend. I'm just kidding. No, we're gonna go see my friend Vanessa. We're actually here already. We're gonna interview her. She's gonna show us her charcuterie board and tell us all about her company. Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome, Donas y Tortas. Come on in.
Record that. Do it again.
Take one. Hi, everyone. Welcome, Donas y Tortas. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Vanessa Pinzon. I am the owner and founder of Soulcial Butterfly. And my good friend Jackie asked if I would be open to showing everybody a simple way of hosting with a simple charcuterie board and a little bit more about my business with a picnic. So a lot of people get easily intimidated when it comes to hosting or overwhelmed, and what I like to do is share my secret, and that is to put together a really easy charcuterie that looks fancy and it looks over the top, but they would never know how easy it is to make. So the first thing you want to do is buy any type of cracker, and you want to start putting it on your charcuterie board and kind of just laying them out to start making it look full. The trick to a good charcuterie is for it to just look full. Okay? The second thing I like to do is go to Trader Joe's. They have this amazing 3-pack of cheese. And what you want to do is kind of break apart the slices that already come pre-made and cut, and you just kind of give it a little sass with putting it like this. And then the second thing you want to do is get a good selection of deli meat, and there's no real secret to it other than just making the board look full. So for example, I'm going to get this prosciutto. I'll break it up in a couple pieces, and you're just gonna kind of squish it and place it, okay? We do want it to look a little pretty, so just attention to detail. And just fix the crackers really quickly. So what we can do here is put some prosciutto right there to stand the cheese at. So Jackie and I met back in 2013.
Wow, you think we know each other that long? That's so sweet.
When did you start?
2016.
Oh, well, it feels like a lifetime. I keep telling her we're definitely soul sisters. We actually met at work. So besides owning and doing Soulcial Butterfly, we met in advertising at Casanova McCann, and we just kind of hit it off from the get-go. And we've just become really, really good soul sisters and have kept in touch since our paths have gone in different directions. And yeah, that's kind of how we met.
Yeah, do you remember one of the first things I heard in a meeting that we got off a call and do you remember this?
I don't recall.
You were talking about a stripper.
I plead the fifth on this subject.
Okay.
The next thing we're going to do on the charcuterie board is a flower. This is very elegant, looks super sophisticated, super hard to do, but it's so easy. The two things you're going to need is a champagne flute and some salami. What you want to do is fold the salami halfway perfectly and then place it over the rim of the champagne flute. And then you're going to overlap the salami over and over and over. Not a great idea. The worst idea is putting chocolate outside of a container and having it melt. So anytime I do chocolates, I do try to contain them in a little jar or in something in case they do melt. And so you'll need about 2 layers of this. And then you're gonna kind of squeeze, ready? And to flip it over. So what we'll do is we'll gather the crackers probably just on the sides like this. Let's put the flour in the middle. Could also do is fold a salami in half and in a fourth, so it makes a little shape like this. And then you're gonna keep doing it with a little river. Okay. Well, Jackie and I have very different accounts of how we met. I remember inviting her to Bible study, and I think that's when we really started getting close. Faith and spirituality has always been really important to me. So being able to share that part of my life with Jackie has been really special. She's definitely been someone, a pillar to my spiritual growth and my journey. So that's how I remember meeting Jackie. I don't know what she's talking about with
hang on. Let me
bachelorettes.
So I don't know if you remember this, but I think I hadn't really kind of dove into my spirituality for a while because of the struggles I had with being gay. But I remember sitting in the car with you. We had come back from a meeting or something. Do you remember this? And we were in your car.
Oh, yeah.
You had revealed that you were you had shared with me that you were part of a Bible study group, and you helped me kind of let down my walls and being open to that part of my life, which is, it remains a very important part of my life. And I just remember, I was like, oh my God, no one has ever been able to break down the walls when it comes to this stuff, and you did that for me, and you opened this door for me. So yeah, thank you. So
I'm crying in the background.
Let's get back to her.
Once you kind of are done placing the 3-pack of the meat and the cheeses, they don't all need to be styled the same. I do recommend breaking them apart like this, and getting fancy with some of the designs. And we'll do the Manchego here. Some of them, I do recommend putting the cheese out just a little bit, a couple minutes, letting it kind of get loosey-goosey. And the trick to a good charcuterie is just having good garnishes. So these are just grapes. You can leave them on the vine, or you could kind of just split them open and just fill. The whole point of the charcuterie is for it to look full.
I'm gonna go ahead and take one of your strawberries.
Yeah. Growing up, my mom and dad always had parties, and she had this beautiful china set, and the way she hosted, I think, is what really created the seed for me to be a host and love doing it. So as an adult, now that I have my own space, it's something that I really enjoy. It's not intimidating. It comes naturally. Getting to put together an event and putting a PowerPoint together with a schematic and the look and feel just brings me so much joy. I had started party planning back in 2016 around my sister's wedding. And then I was doing wedding planning for friends and family as a referral, just here and there. And then the pandemic hit, right? And everybody was kind of locked up. That was definitely a time of soul searching for myself. And it's when I realized I need a creative outlet. And there wasn't much to do, so I saw someone do a picnic, and I wanted to do that for my 35th birthday. So that's kind of where it snowballed, was, oh my gosh, this is the easiest thing. I have all these supplies from weddings and bridal showers and baby showers, and I went to Home Depot, bought wood, made tables, bought pillows from IKEA, and just kind of stocked up to start the business. And I was nervous about it. I was very, imposter syndrome always clicks in, and you're like, no, you're gonna fail. People are gonna know, you're gonna know you're faking it till you make it. And then I actually remember a conversation with Jackie where she was like, just do it. And I was like, you're right. So I went on Instagram, I created the page, and once I clicked that and I went live, I was like, there's no stopping now.
Yeah.
Write it down. What is it that you want to do? What do you want out of it? What is your ultimate goal? And how much time are you willing to invest in it? And honestly, just go for it. If it doesn't work out, what's the worst? It's an Instagram page that faded away, or it becomes a really successful business where you could quit your career and become your own boss. It really depends on your ultimate goal. We have 2 more steps to go. So on top of just adding the hard cheese, what you'll want to do is get a good soft cheese. You can go do a good brie, or a goat cheese is always a good alternative. What I like to do is just kind of place it here. And then you want to end up garnishing your dish. Since it's not hot outside, I will just let the chocolates roam. So you want it to be sweet and savory. But that's it, folks. It was 2 pre-packages, or 1 package of meat, 1 package of a 3 cheese, a little bit of fruit, and crackers, and voila. Have a taste, donas y tortas.
Okay. I think there's more.
Another easy trick when you are in a bind is any type of dessert. So whether it's cookies, or if you have time to go to Trader Joe's and get this variety pack of macaroons, highly recommended, or have a pack in your freezer at all times. Literally just place them on a nice dish. So hosting is all about presentation. It really is. It doesn't matter what you have on the dish. It's about how you're placing it, how you're making it look. I'm gonna take a couple more strawberries, place those here. Any fruit can do. You could peel an orange and place it up here. It would work as well. And all of a sudden you have a nice dish for your guests. Have a bite, donas y tortas.
I heard there's some more stuff outside. Is this correct?
Yeah, vámonos. Come on over, Jackie. This way. Come on, woman. A little bit closer. Did you get the table?
A ver. Oh, there is the charcuterie board you made. Oh my god. Finally together. Well, first of all, cheers. Let's cheers, shall we?
Cheers.
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 Cheers to you all. I'm really hungry, so this is gonna work out great. So what you're seeing right here is just an example of what your next event could be. I sound like a salesperson, but so this is an example of a picnic from her company, Soulful Butterfly. Social. But isn't that funny? Okay, so the name of your business, Soulcial Butterfly. Where'd you come up with this name?
I wanted the name to really mean something.
Wait,
so
I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Why am I
You're gonna
talking
laugh.
to the camera?
I'm over here, dude.
I'm talking to you?
Yeah, we're having a conversation.
I thought I'm talking to your
No.
viewers.
Let me get myself more comfortable then. Yeah, me. What's
So
the
when
name?
I decided to go for the business, I wanted a really meaningful name. So for me, the word social, spelled with the word soul in it, really means connecting of the souls. Having a space, whether it's intimate soiree or a picnic or a wedding or a baby shower, these are intimate events that happen in your life, and it's a way to get souls to connect. And in terms of butterfly, actually my name means butterfly. So, and also on a side note, I'm very much a social butterfly, so what better name? When I I had sat down and did some meditations at the beach, and I decided, okay, I think this is the name. It means something. It means connecting, bringing people together at a higher energy, and just being connected with one soul, you know, and having just the pleasure of catching up and being with someone and spending time with someone. In a time where the pandemic was all about virtual Zooms, not being able to see people, it's in the outdoors, and just really reconnecting our souls.
And it's so funny, I think it's really fitting for you because you, like, you know, you can go to any person that want, you know, you want to help with the picnic, but I think you, the person that you are inherently, you're all about bringing people together. You do that with us, with our friends. Like, this is the person who, like, wrangles us all in, and even at work, like, wrangling us in and creating a sense of community. I think, like, recently, well, not recently, it's been a year that I got engaged with Anna, and you helped me. Yeah. And I think just even the process of working with you was really cool. Like, walk us through that process of, like, when somebody comes to you, like, how do we make it happen?
So if you send me a message through Instagram, I will send you our catalog, and we have a variation of different type of picnics and themes. So it's super easy, 3 steps. You pick the type of picnic you want to have, whether it's a big table or little tables, 2 different packages. And then within there, you choose your theme, and then we choose your location, and we show up, set it up for you. You come to enjoy it for 2 hours. You guys leave. As soon as we come back, we pick up and we go. So it really is a seamless experience. It's meant for you to just take a break out of reality and life and just connect with the people that are there with you.
You're making me laugh. I've never laughed so much in an interview. You're distracting me.
The fly is distracting me.
So, you know, it's funny, when I do these interviews, I want to get people that have come into my life, and they've come into my life for different reasons, seasons, and all that good stuff. And I think with you, we talked about it earlier when we were setting up the board, was this idea of spirituality, but also part of that, a part that you've played a big role in my life is wellness. And what does wellness and mental health mean? Like, it's such a broad term that's been thrown around a lot lately. I mean, I think it's an important one, but I want to dive a little deeper with you on that experience we had. And I think it will be good for people who are watching that might be going through something similar, that to have someone in your corner, like you were in my corner. I don't know where to even begin, but let me get some cheese.
So as you know, I've struggled with an anxiety disorder since I was little. I think I was 8 years old. And for the longest time, up until like my adulthood, it was something I had, and I had to push through. It was something that just wasn't really noticed or talked about in a Hispanic household. Until I got into my early adulthood, and I realized, okay, there are resources out there, and there's a way to get help. And that's kind of where I went into a very, very dark place in my mid to late 20s. And I was encouraged to go to therapy, and my goodness, it's probably one of the best things I've ever done in my life. You know, there's a lot of stigma around therapy and anxiety disorders and panic. Like, everybody has it, but nobody talks about it, right?
So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Like, there is no shame. It does not define you. It is just a characteristic and a part of you, just how having brown eyes and dark skin, light skin is part of you. So, yeah, that's when I started my journey at about 28. And I was very consistent with it, and it honestly just helped me realize who I am, who I want to be, the expectations, the self-expectations that you put on yourself, and the fact that your mind is such a powerful thing, and you honestly do have control of how far you allow yourself to spiral down.
Touched on something that really, I mean, it hit me right now, but it also hit me when you said it to me the first time. So I don't know if you noticed what she just said about how important it is to know who you are. And I want to elaborate on that. And and if you can explain what exactly you mean by that, because I remember you told me that at the start of this year. I thought I was, I had been through therapy and I was feeling better, but I started to kind of go back into my old ways of how I was coping with my emotions and my feelings and my attitudes, and you noticed that there was a change, and that's when you said that. And I thought, when you said that to me, I was like, what is she talking about? Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm Jackie. Like, what the hell? Like, what is she talking about?
Finding yourself is understanding how you view life, how you react to situations, understanding to distinguish what part of life you have control over and what things happen and how you react to it. My favorite example is you are only upset for 2 reasons. You got something you did not want, or you didn't get what you wanted. So what is it? Is it the fact that you got something, but it wasn't exactly what you wanted, or you didn't get what you wanted at all? So you yourself can either get upset, let it slide. The way you react to life is on you, not the circumstance, but it's the reaction to it. The way you talk to yourself, when they say you are your oldest relationship and the one relationship you're going to have the longest, that really means picture a little version of yourself in your gut, and that's who you talk to. So when you say oh, I'm so stupid, no, it's oh, okay, darn it, we messed up. Okay, mental note, that won't happen again, but let's do it this way. And that's what it means to be really figure out who you are and to be at peace. And know that every single person on this planet struggles with accepting who they are flawlessly, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. And I think once you get to a mental place where you really get to know who you are and understand how you react to things, that you're in control, whether you allow this person to push your buttons, whether, chemical imbalances are a thing. So it's also knowing, hey, I don't feel normal, or hey, I feel a little more down than I usually am. You really come in tune with your body. And I don't think that really happens until you have a spiritual awakening, which I think where spirituality marries, mental health. Is when you are on a spiritual journey to be the best version of yourself in this life, that is when you really start to hear your body in ways that you never knew you could. And it's acknowledging certain behavior, certain thought patterns that you acknowledge. And through therapy, you get this toolkit, and we keep adding tools. So when we cross a bridge and something's wrong, we have the tools and the capacity to figure it out.
Because a lot of people think, I go to therapy for a little bit and I'm good, I'm fixed. But that's just not how it is with mental health. I don't know if you want to shed a little bit about your own experience.
No, I think finding yourself is a lifelong journey, and that's what we're here for. So while we have the tools, and everybody does, I've gone through times where I'm oh great, I've done 4 years of therapy, I'm in a really good place, and then something happens. But I think that's the importance of having a really good support system, is that you have for myself, I have my soul sisters, right? I can count these girls on a hand. And I know that if they notice my behavior or something off, they will put me in check in terms of hey, what is happening? This is a consistent pattern, and the common denominator is you, what's happening? And it's it's an ever evolving journey. And honestly, I think that's what life is.
It's through that support system that gets you to that therapist or gets you through that tool. You've been that role for me, where you've been able to call me out and say, hey, maybe you might want to get into that. There's people out there who may not have support system. So we'll make sure to put some links in the description to this interview to resources out there, because there's so many resources out there. And I think like joining groups, anything that, you know, there's Meetup. I'm a big ambassador of Meetup, you know, so if you feel like, I mean, we were lucky to find each other at work. Not everyone is that lucky. So I think find community. There's so many places out there that are wanting for you to join them in that community. And for those of you who do have friends like Vanessa, hear them out. Like, I think you just wanted the best for me, and I trusted you. You know, a lot of times you hear stuff from family members and it doesn't hit the same. Then you find people in your life that you're like, oh, I hear you. Okay, I guess I got to do this. You know, you know.
Or you put an ultimatum and be like, Jackie, I'm gonna call you on Friday, and you need to give me an appointment.
Yeah, a few reminders. You know. You mentioned something about it depends on how you react to things. Like, can we take a step even before that? Because some people they're not even that self-aware to be like, oh, the way I react should impact. Like, there's a step before you realize that you can be committed to that.
I think that if you're in a place in life where you're asking yourself constantly, what am I doing wrong? Why is everything going this way? If you know that you are going down like a negative spiral, that should be your wake-up call and be like, there has to be a better way of looking at life, you know? Because if you have this negative perception and this negative way of thinking, then that's how you're gonna live life. And I think we all want to be happy, and the one way to truly be happy is to do the work, resolve whatever past traumas or childhood. It doesn't have to be anything, you know. I come from a very loving family with parents who are still married, and people look at me and they're like, what do you mean you have anxiety and you have issues? You come from a good family. And it's like, yeah, but there's certain life events that happen that you may think are insignificant, but they were significant to my inner child or to myself as I was growing. And everybody has baggage, and I think the kinder you are to people and the more open you are to people, the better it is for them to find their way and be open to it. And always talk about it. Like, the more you talk about it, the more someone who typically wouldn't have heard a point of view or perspective could be like, oh my God, I didn't know I could resolve my anger issues through therapy. Or, oh my God, it's not normal to be depressed every single day. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think that takes a level of being honest with yourself, so that you can be open to your friends and be like, hey, this is how, like, just, I guess not to be afraid of being so honest with yourself, I think, and being vulnerable with yourself. I think a lot of the times we're all like day in, day out doing our stuff, and we never check in with ourselves. And so then you're never going to be able to check in with your friends and or be that vulnerable with your friends. Okay, so one thing that you do that I just love and adore is she goes to the beach. She watches the sunset. I don't know how many of us who live in Southern California don't even go to the beach. But when I see that, it brings a smile to my face, because it's like, oh man, like to me, it shows that you have a relationship with yourself, that you're committed to yourself. With that in mind, can you share with us 3 simple things that people can do tomorrow that can really help move the needle on their wellness?
I actually got it from like a beauty post or something from Instagram. And I was like, you know what? I think I can start doing this. And I only took a couple of the lists. So the first one was do 5 minutes of meditation. Sit, listen to a meditation on YouTube, download an app. There's plenty of them out there. Or pray. So I will literally sit in my patio, drink a coffee, and I will just say all the thank yous I can to God, start my day with gratitude, and it really sets the tone for the day. 5 minutes. You can spare 5 minutes. The second thing is read. I'm not a big reader. I'm an ESL child, so reading was never my favorite thing to do. But there's some great books out there. There's books like You Are a Badass or The Universe Has My Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. And I commit myself 15 minutes before I close my eyes and turn off the lights. to read 15 minutes or 10 pages worth of a book and just kind of go to bed like that. And the third is the beach. But find a happy place. Find a place in nature that you can go for 15 to 30 minutes, sit, touch the ground, whether it's grass, it's trees, it's sand, it's dirt, but really connect with the earth to ground yourself and just kind of release everything that you need to release for the day. If you can, I encourage you to journal. It could be a list of things you're grateful for. It could be a list of things you're having struggles with. It could be just an entry. Just write whatever's on your mind. But it's so therapeutic to put it on paper, and it's a way of processing those thoughts when you actually write them out. So, you know, one of the three, or do all three as constant as you can. But yeah, no more than 15, 30 minutes on any of those activities.
I said, what's your anthem? But I guess like, what's a motto you live by?
Probably one of my favorite ones is live life giving people the benefit of the doubt the first time. And what I mean by that is that if you are in the store and the cashier's being rude, or you're vice versa, being the cashier and the customer is rude, like, give them the benefit of the doubt. I highly doubt that person got out of bed and said, I'm gonna go yell at someone. Chances are that person is going through something. So it's another way of saying live with compassion. Give people the benefit of the doubt that they're not doing things. It's not attacking you. It has more to do with probably what they're dealing with. And once you live with that brain switch, you approach every situation very differently. And you're just kind of like, you know, I've had people be really rude and take a minute. And then you kind of go and be like, are you okay? Like, are you having a hard time? Is something going on? And 99% of the time, the person doesn't realize they're being abrasive or rude. So yeah,
I love that. These flies are really testing my patience too. But you know what? Maybe they woke up on the wrong side of the tracks today. I love that. I think, and honestly, selfishly enough, that not only does that honestly like help with making sure that you don't disrupt that person's day, because who knows how hot-headed they might be or whatever. But it also, I don't know, it brings you also a sense of peace of like knowing like that like your experience in that moment, your mood is not dictated by this other person's like negativity and toxic nature. It's like
exactly
you get to choose what kind of energy you want to bring in, you know, by doing that. So I love that. Love that.
I love that for you.
I love that for you.
For you.
Are we Valley girls? No. No. Thank you for being a great friend.
Yeah.
Ooh, the lights setting and everything. When it comes to friendships, I will say, like, I don't know. It's like when you meet somebody who like had such a positive impact in your life, I'm like, dang, like you keep that person around. So I'm keeping you around.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, I think it's time to go. I'm gonna go. You're gonna clean this up yourself, right? So I'm gonna go.
The dishes are right here, girlfriend.
Okay. All right. Bye. Gonna go into the kitchen now. Bye. Thanks for tuning in.